This tutorial is related to HTML scraper provider for data import. And in this tutorial, we're gonna talk about field mappings. And hopefully you watched the first video of the configuration of the HTML scraper. And now let's dive into the field mappings. So in the configuration, we have three URLs that we wanna import HTML from. So here is the list of URL that we're going to import in the query section. And we're going to match some class names of the DOM to map it to our Sitecore fields. And as you can see here, I have under the configuration, when you add the new configuration, you will see a fields folder, and then under it, you can insert field mappings. So here you have data types of options that you can. Mostly we're using here only text, except there is one date field. Here you have the browser title, and this is simply getting from the title tag, and it is going to browser title field, which is a field in our template in Sitecore. And the same thing for the date, goes to the date field, and this one comes from .mediacardDate class. And then this one comes from .cards class, and so on. However, just to give an overall review of the mappings, you can see here there is this exclamation mark, and then that's just means that if the DOM contains this class, not equals. So what happens sometimes, you have a class names, list of class names on a div, for example, and then if you just say find me the cards class, then it is going to match it to that class name. But because we have multiple class names, sometimes we just want to do contains instead. So this is what marks it as contains versus equals. The class name equals this. And then here we are grabbing the H1 and putting it into the title field in Sitecore. And this one meta description, we're putting the meta disc field and grabbing it from the head slash meta slash at name equals description at content, which is the content value of that content attribute. It's going to go to the field. And you have few other options of mapping things in from what field. For example, here you can see we are grabbing from .teamGrid_row class slash article slash star. This means basically find the HTML scraper finds this class object in the DOM and gets the children of it, which is supposed to be article tags. And then the slash star basically says get all those. You might have some other content under that class, and the team grid class that you don't want to be in the field. So that is why you say article slash star. Now, if you don't put anything, it's just going to take the entire data of that class object. In addition to the star, we also have the ability of indexing. Let's say you want the second article, you can just say simply /2 and so on. But however, this whole thing in the behind the scene translates to XPath in the code, basically. And I'm also going to list some other options as a documentation. But if we just do a quick pick here, we could see some other options of how you can map things out. Section slash class name, or tag called sections /4, which means the fourth section slash the cards class name. Basically, the dot refers to the class. If there is no dot or anything, it will refer to as a tag name, or you could also make this to be as ID, for example, by using the pound sign, like this. So these are some basic concepts of how from what field mappings work. The other sections of the field level mapping is the processor, the post processors. In here, for example, this field mapping is coming from here and it contains images. And this is the URL, which is rapport.com/company. And we're pointing to the team grid row class slash article slash star basically is taking all the articles, and the articles are each individual square box. And then in the post processor here we also added import media. The post processors basically for the field is just processes on a field level after importing the data. So for example, in the title, I have a trim and I have remove title span. And I'm going to go over these processors separately. But for now, this is how you do the basic mapping of from HTML DOM to your Sitecore field.